Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And taking a little break from my sports content to get back into my personal vlog playlist. How many would you agree, especially during the pandemic with COVID-19, that makes you realize a lot more that the modern work week definitely, let's say, when I talk about taking a break from doing my sports content, would you agree that the modern work week doesn't give you much time to have a break, period? So that's what I'll talk about in personal blog number 105. I'm going to say it's time to move to a 4-day work week. Because I definitely finding right now, even more so, I don't know if it's just get older or just with the circumstances in general, but I generally find that you work 5 days in a row to only get supposedly 2 days for the weekend, but it almost feels like you only get a day, day and a half at most, to be honest with you. And it feels like you barely have time on the weekends to get like one, maybe two errands done, because most of the time you're spending the weekend, collapsing from the work week, as I'd say. I definitely would be willing to move to a 4-day work week if it was offered, or I think, especially with more awareness on mental health and people's well-being, I think I'd have a better mental health and well-being if I didn't work as many days. I would be willing to work a little bit longer, Monday to Thursday, and that'd be a full work week, to have, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Because then that way you can still have your time to collapse. Then you still have time to get things done and maybe, have a life. Because it definitely doesn't feel like that right now. And I'm going to say, given the circumstances of the pandemic, I think that might expedite that a lot more. Because I just feel like that, you only get one really true day off. And that's usually Saturday on the weekend, because after Friday you're done, you're spent. And then Sunday, the other day of the weekend, and most of it's spent worrying about the fact that it's Monday and you got 5 more days ahead before the next weekend. And then things just keep getting put off, but you just keep hearing a lot of, jurisdictions or companies or places that have tried it. I've heard nothing but positive things, where they say that people are happier, more recharged. Well, yeah, if you have more time to rest and get things done, it doesn't weigh on you. I mean, me personally, I think it would definitely work better for me if I worked a 4-day work week. I mean, my ideal would be Monday to Thursday. Either, work a little longer, or even some jurisdictions are thinking, who came up with 40 days for 40 hours for a work week? Maybe cut that down and people will be even more recharged, because I always find that at the end of the day, the reason why you wait till the weekend to try to get things done, because you're physically and mentally exhausted after a long work day. I mean, you got time you got to spend to get ready to get yourself ready, and a commute, and the time that you supposedly get for lunchtime. But I find that lunchtime just makes the day longer. It's not enough time. It's not enough time to be able to do anything, knowing you got to go back to work. Because if you try to do something at lunchtime, it's like you leave to go somewhere, it's like, look at the time, I gotta come back. So all that does is makes the day longer in my mind. I mean, you just gotta have some time to nibble on something, but that's all I feel. And then the fact that, at the end of the day, I mean, when half your days work, it doesn't give you much time for anything else if you still want a decent, night's sleep. That's just all those things that you realize a lot more as you get older, and I think especially with the, the way society has been right now. But I would figure if I had that extra night, because I have that extra day off, I wouldn't need to take Fridays off if there's a late night football game, or heck, go back and doing any recreational activity like on a Thursday night, because you at least have that to look forward to, knowing that you got 2 full days to actually be able to have a weekend and get things done and get some rest. Because I do find that when I take Friday off, the week goes by much faster. And then usually on long weekends, even if I had the Friday off and use that time to rest up, I still have the weekend to be able to get things done. On a rare weekend, it's like, thank God it's Friday, boom, you're dead. And the next thing you know, it's Monday and you didn't get anything done. It's like that TikTok meme where you hear that Apple alarm, where you just see someone come in the room, collapse on the bed, and it said Friday night, then Monday morning. That's what weekends basically feels like. And then you wonder why you don't have time to get anything done, because you're just tired from the work week and just how long the work days are. But it's just how the modern world works now. Because I know that apparently it was Henry Ford that came up with the concept of weekends, that used to be that people worked like 16, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then when they introduced this concept over 100 years ago, then they realized people were actually a lot more productive and quality of product was better because people were more productive and had more time to have a life and take care of themselves. Well, I think it's definitely time for a reset. It won't necessarily work in all situations, but I mean, I do think that even then you hear about people that work in first responders. I do remember that I looked at possibly being a paramedic, and I've been to some information sessions back in when I was in high school, but that's over 20 years ago, that they said their work weeks were they worked 4 on, 4 off, where you work 2 days, 2 nights, and then you have 4 days off. And I hear some of those people that, yeah, they work those stressful jobs and stressful hours, but then they have that time where they actually have time to recharge and be able to have a life. The dates are different though, but I think, that's what it is. I mean, someone could also spin and say, well, why don't you just work 7 days a week and 5 hours a day? When I say, well, you would have even less of a life, because the always seems to be that those hours are always smack dab in the middle of the day where you can't get anything done. Been there, done that with, when you work retail or some other jobs where they only give you like a 4-hour shift, but then when you got to spend like 2 hours commuting, and it's always smack dab in the middle of the day where, you can't go to a movie or can't go to the bank or can't do this. I just feel like it's not the amount of hours, it's the number of days that we got to work. And I definitely would be willing to move to a 4-day work week. And, I would be, if someone offered me a position that at worst I had the same I had right now, except it was 4 days, Monday to Thursday, I definitely would gravitate to that, just because I think that would improve my mental health and well-being, because I have more time to have a life and even better take care of myself, which I think is definitely much more needed, especially what we've been dealing with the last couple of years. So that's just my background, and I think it is time to consider moving to a 4-day work week. What do you think of the concept? Do you think it's time to redo the work week, make it Monday to Thursday, make it 4 days? It has to be, a movement. And do you think, you'd be better off if you worked at most the same hours that you work, but longer days, but you have a longer weekend, so you can be able to, get what you need to get done and have a life and recharge? Because I find you can only do one of those 3 marginally at best, or you either have to decide, is this the weekend that I get things done, have a life, or pass out on the couch and then still not be satisfied because you only had a day and a half, depends on your hours. But do you think you'd be better off? I think I definitely would. I think it's definitely something that needs to be considered, and that could be something that potential employers can use to their advantage. I know that where I used to work, and now I still appreciate the fact that I work Fridays, but the days are shorter, as in it's not just get off an hour, like half an hour earlier like at my first place, but talking about leaving, at 1 instead of 4. That's nice and that, but a lot of the time it's spent, it's like, I need that time to recharge, like especially if I got a sporting event to go to, or try to run errands, or if I try to get things done, then that usually means that time's got to recharge. Will eat up the rest of my other weekends. So that's why I think it's the number of days. It's time to consider moving to a 4-day work week. What do you think? Is it time to consider it? That's what I think. So anyways, like to say, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, home of the Flames have been Roughnecks and Stampeders. I mostly do talk Calgary sports on my YouTube channel, where I recap games and stories, but I also do a variety of non-sports content like personal vlogs, attempt to comedy and you share my experience. I'm on the road, a sport event, and I do have throwing some vlogging on the go, which I would say if I worked 4 days a week, I'd have more time to, make more videos and not be as tired at the same time, but it is what it is right now. So if that all sounds like be interesting to watch, to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, you know what you do, just make sure you hit like and subscribe. I also have my other social media links down in the description below for other ways to follow me. And of course I have my second channel in Brett Hornby Shorts, where I exclusively put my short form content on there as well. So I appreciate you subscribe both here on my main channel and my second channel. So as I say, is it time to move to a 4-day work week? I definitely say it is. It sounds like that the benefits outweigh the drawbacks. If there is not as many drawbacks, I mean, maybe if it's a longer work day, but when you're physically and mentally exhausted at the end of the work day it is, wouldn't you rather be physically and mentally exhausted on 4 days instead of 5? I would say yes. So anyway, so I say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.